Welcome to the deep dive. We sort through the sources, find the key insights, and hopefully spark some real aha moments for you. Today we're going deep, really deep, into a powerful piece of ancient wisdom, Psalm 24. People often call it the King of Glory, our mission. To unpack its meaning, grasp its insights, and see how incredibly relevant it still is right now for encouraging our faith and, well, guiding how we live.
Absolutely. And this isn't just some dusty old text. It's a truly majestic hymn attributed to King David, and it tackles the big ones: God's rule over everything, what kind of character we should strive for, and the nature of God's presence itself. We'll kind of break down its structure first and really dig into the practical side for you.
Yeah, I love that structure. It starts huge and just gets bigger. So, okay, let's set the stage. This triumphal hymn, what are the foundational ideas? Walk us through the structure.
Right. It unfolds beautifully, really, in three main parts, almost like acts in a play. The first part, that's verses 1 and 2, lays down the bedrock truth. God as creator and owner of everything. It says, "The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein." That's not just poetry. It's a declaration of ownership, absolute ownership. It underlines that everything belongs to God because he made it, founded it on the seas, established it on the floods. That's the starting block for understanding our place. We're not the owners, we're inhabitants, guests almost in his creation.
Wow, that's quite an opening statement, isn't it? Puts everything in immediate perspective.
Yeah.
So if God is that sovereign, owns everything, then the natural question is, well, who gets to be near him? Who's actually qualified to stand in his presence?
Yeah.
Does the psalm tackle that?
It does, absolutely. And that's exactly where the second part, verses 3 to 6, goes. It asks that very question you just raised. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord? Or who shall stand in his holy place? And this isn't about climbing a literal mountain. It's spiritual. Who gets access? The answer it gives is just profound, cuts right through everything else. He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully.
Clean hands and a pure heart.
Exactly. The psalm really emphasizes these qualities. Clean hands, meaning righteous actions, what you do. A pure heart, honest motives, your inner state. Integrity in what you say, no deceit. These are what qualify someone. Not status, not rituals, not wealth. Character. Your integrity is what allows you to receive blessing and righteousness from God.
That's radical.
Yeah.
Especially then, but maybe even more so now. It's your inside state that matters most.
Right. It cuts through all the external stuff.
Okay, so we've got creation, God's ownership, then qualification through character. How does it build to a climax? What's the final vision in the last part?
The third part. Verses 7 through 10, it's this incredible triumphant vision, the grand entrance of the King of Glory. The call goes out like an urgent command. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of Glory shall come in.
Powerful imagery, like the city itself needs to make way.
Precisely. And then there's this dramatic, almost challenging question, as if the gates themselves are asking, who is this King of Glory? And the answer booms back twice, just to be sure. The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle, the Lord of hosts, he is the King of Glory.
Wow. No ambiguity there.
None at all. It's this vivid picture of God arriving in glory. Some think it's about God entering the temple, maybe Solomon's temple. Others see it as more prophetic, looking ahead to the Messiah. Either way, it's an invitation, a command really, to recognize and welcome ultimate divine power, to open up.
Okay, so we've walked through the structure. Creation, qualification, culmination, foundation to triumphant entry. But now for the real deep dive part, right? How do these ancient words speak to us? To you listening, how does this encourage our obedience, strengthen our faith today?
Exactly. This is where Psalm 24 really bridges the millennia. Let's unpack that wisdom. The first big one is stewardship, not ownership.
Okay.
The ancient insight is crystal clear. The world, everything in it, your stuff, your skills, your time, even the people around you, it all belongs to God. Not really yours.
So it calls for humility.
Humility, yes, and responsible stewardship. Looking after things rather than thinking you own them outright. Think about our modern world. It's so often about consumerism, isn't it? Getting more, owning more, conquest almost. Psalm 24 basically says, hold on, rethink that. You don't own the planet. You're entrusted with a part of it.
That applies really broadly then.
Yeah. To everything. How you treat people, nature, your job, even your own health. It's all under this umbrella of stewardship. And when you really grasp that, it encourages obedience, right? Because you're trying to manage things well for the actual owner. It's not just about what you want. And that focus, that sense of responsibility to God, it can't help but strengthen your faith. You see everything as a gift, a trust.
That definitely shifts things from mine to entrusted. Accountability over acquisition. Okay, what's the next piece of wisdom?
The second one is just as countercultural today. Character matters more than credentials.
Back to the clean hands and pure heart.
Exactly. The psalm insists that getting close to God isn't about your CV, your social status, or performing the right rituals perfectly. It's about integrity, your inner moral state. Moral purity, honest intentions, that's what lets you ascend the hill.
And that question, who shall ascend? We still ask that, don't we? Maybe in different ways.
We do, but the psalm's answer ignores the resume. It doesn't care about your job title or how many followers you have. It asks, are your actions honest? Are your motives clean? Integrity, that's the real gatekeeper in leadership, relationships, personal growth. Everywhere.
That's a high bar.
It is. But embracing it strengthens faith because you realize God sees the real you, the heart and values that above all the outward stuff. And it pushes you toward a deeper kind of obedience, not just following rules, but actually cultivating inner goodness, because that's what truly matters for connection.
Okay, so focus on the inside. But the psalm mentions both clean hands and pure heart, actions and intentions. How do we work on both today?
Yeah, that brings us nicely to the third point, the call to inner and outer integrity and preparing for presence. The ancient insight is that you need both. They're linked. Clean hands, that's your behavior, your ethics, what people see. Pure heart, that's the why behind your actions, your inner motives, desires, your core self. Both matter immensely.
Can't really have one without the other long term.
Exactly. The psalm assumes you actually want to draw nearer to God, right? But it says, okay, first, you need to get your inner house in order. Prepare yourself. This applies whether you're praying, meditating, or just doing some honest self-reflection. Are your actions and intentions aligned? Are you being authentic?
So preparation is key.
It is. It's about building that foundation of truth within yourself. That readiness strengthens faith because it fosters a real, unmasked relationship with God. And it motivates obedience not from obligation, but from a genuine desire to reflect God's goodness inside and out.
Being authentic through and through, not putting on a show. Okay, what's next on the list?
Next up is making room for awe and recognizing God's glory.
The lift up your heads, O ye gates part.
Yes, that call, whether to literal gates or the metaphorical gates of our hearts and minds, it suggests we need to consciously open ourselves up. Open up to wonder, to God's presence, to things that can transform us. God's glory isn't just something to observe. It's meant to be welcomed in.
So it's an active thing we need to do.
Yeah, definitely. It's a call to wake up from just the day-to-day grind, to make space for something bigger than ourselves. You know, whether you find that sense of awe in amazing art or worship or nature's grandeur or deep human connection, those moments when glory feels like it's knocking.
Yeah.
You have to decide, am I going to open the gate or keep it shut? Actively looking for and welcoming those moments, that really builds faith. It reminds you God is present and powerful. It fosters receptivity.
I like that image. Glory knocking. So what's the final wisdom point from Psalm 24?
The last one ties back to that grand entrance. God enters with purpose and victory. Remember, God doesn't just sort of slip in unnoticed. He enters as a triumphant king. The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle.
Right, that definite statement of power.
And that image, it still connects today. Especially when we experience our own victories, moments of redemption or renewal. When you get through something really tough, overcome a huge obstacle, experience a breakthrough, Psalm 24 encourages you to see the sacred in that win. To recognize it's not just your effort, but the King of Glory at work.
Attributing the victory.
Exactly, attributing it rightly. That perspective deeply strengthens faith. Seeing God actively involved, fighting alongside you. And it encourages obedience too, reminding you that you're not alone in the struggles. The Lord mighty in battle is with you, turning even personal wins into affirmations of his power.
So putting it all together, Psalm 24 really is this amazing mix, isn't it? Humility of the earth is the Lord's, and majesty, the King of glory, entering. It keeps pushing us to look at our lives, our actions, our hearts, go deeper than the surface.
Absolutely. It doesn't just paint a picture of God's glory out there somewhere. It turns the question right back to you, listening right now. It asks, point blank, are you actually ready to receive that glory? Are you prepared? It's an invitation to see the world differently as stewards, to live more honestly with integrity, and to prepare your life like those ancient gates for something holy, something transformative to come in. It's about lifting your own perspective, opening up to God's presence, not just on Sundays, but every day. So maybe the question to leave with you as you reflect on all this is pretty direct. In what ways will you open the gates of your life to the King of Glory today?
A powerful question to ponder. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the wisdom of Psalm 24. We really hope these insights about stewardship, integrity, preparation, and making room for awe resonate with you. Maybe revisit them in your own life this week. We look forward to having you back for our next deep dive.